You've just entered the no delusion zone. I'm David Dubato. Folks, today, February 24th, 2025, is the third anniversary of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And the first thing I'd like to do at the outset of this podcast is to express my sincere apologies to the people of Ukraine for the utter betrayal of their nation by my nation, by America, but specifically by Donald Trump and MAGA, the former Republican Party, the current fascist party of America. I offer my heartfelt apology, my sincere embarrassment and disgrace over what Trump has put you through. Hopefully this can be fixed. Hopefully this is not a fatal wound, a fatal betrayal, but nevertheless, it is a betrayal. And I personally want to offer my apologies. And I know the 50% of people of the American electorate who do not vote for Trump also support Ukraine and offer their apologies. Today, again, this is the third anniversary of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia, but they've been at war with Russia for 11 years. Russia first invaded Ukraine in 2014. Let's not forget that. I know most Americans don't even know that. But Russia invaded Ukraine in 2014 with the alleged little green men. It was a bullshit, not so well-disguised invasion of Ukraine, where they took over Crimea at gunpoint, as well as eastern provinces in the Donbass in eastern Ukraine, which they still occupy. But it's been 11 years, but today is the third anniversary of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by murdering terrorist, genocidal Russia. And I just wanted to briefly today, since it is the third anniversary of the full-scale invasion, mention the disgusting, embarrassing, alleged negotiators that were in Riyadh last week representing the Trump administration. This three-ring circus of clowns was headed by Marco Rubio, the American Secretary of State, Steve Witkoff, who is the Middle East envoy. I don't know what the heck he's doing in this situation, except he's a good buddy of Trump. He's a real estate mogul from New York, just like Trump. So figure it out. He thought, well, if you can wangle real estate deals in Manhattan, I guess you can negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine with Russia, huh? Stupidity. And the last one is Mike Waltz, who is the national security advisor for Trump. Mike Waltz, a former Russia hawk, meaning he was very anti-Putin, anti-Russia, and very pro-Ukraine. But of course, when he went into the Trump camp, he became a cult member. He drank the Kool-Aid, and he reversed all of his former positions, pretty much, and basically mouths anything that Trump wants him to say, including kissing Putin's ass, kissing Lavrov's ring, and groveling before Trump. It was a disgraceful behavior by Rubio, Witkoff, and Waltz in Riyadh, as they were saying just very North Korea-like statements and gushing about their dear leader and how only Trump could have done this. Only Trump can end the war. Only Trump could have brought this negotiations to this point. What a load of bullshit, and it was just embarrassing. Just disgraceful. To just go on with that a little bit, that idea, talking about Steve the moron Witkoff. I'll just read a brief piece from CNN here, and it states, Trump peace negotiator Steve Witkoff, during an interview with CNN aired on Sunday, said, "The war didn't need to happen. It was provoked. It doesn't necessarily mean it was provoked by the Russians. There were all kinds of conversations back then about Ukraine joining NATO. The president has spoken about this. That didn't need to happen. It basically became a threat to the Russians. And so we have to deal with that fact. Those are the real facts on the ground. Well, the real facts on the ground, asshole Witkoff, is that you're a lying sack of shit and you got your head so far up Trump's ass you can't see daylight. Ukraine did not start the war. Russia started the war. Russia was not threatened by NATO. China surrounds more of Russia than any NATO countries, even if Ukraine were to join. Why don't they threaten China? Why don't they threaten to launch nukes at China? Because they're definitely enveloping most of Russian territory. And just following up on that, just another piece, I believe this one was out of the New York Times. U.S. President Donald Trump has reportedly given Europe a 3-week deadline to approve terms for Ukraine's surrender to Russia or face a U.S. withdrawal, according to a European Parliament member. On a post on X shared on February 19th, Finnish politician Mika Aaltola of the European People's Party alleged that the U.S. has given us 3 weeks to agree on terms for Ukraine's surrender, referring to a proposed peace deal. If we don't, the United States will withdraw from Europe. Trump prioritizes Russia's security concerns now and in the future. Let them own the mess. We have 3 weeks to grow up, according to this Finnish member of parliament. Now, he didn't provide any further evidence, documentary or otherwise, but I have no reason to doubt that's what Trump told him or other members of the European Parliament, because he's been saying statements like that since he came to office. And he's especially put those words in the mouth of the so-called negotiators that went to Riyadh. He has basically rolled over and kissed Putin's ass. He has agreed essentially to all of the points that Russia demanded when they invaded Ukraine 3 years ago. He hasn't asked Putin or Russia for any concessions yet. He's demanding more concessions from Ukraine than we, meaning the West, demanded of Imperial Germany at the end of World War I, the defeated enemy. Now I just read where the latest negotiating tactic, the strong arm tactic that Trump is using against Zelensky, is not just for the rare earth. He's asking for all 50% of all the rare earth, about $500 billion worth of Ukrainian rare earth, and 50% of the profits from their natural gas, their oil, and all the income from their ports, from their trade from all over the world, in perpetuity. 50%. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what the mafia does. That's called making an offer that you can't refuse. It's basically, if you don't take this offer, it's going to go pretty bad for you. So I suggest that you agree. He's acting just like a mafia don, which he is. He's a scumbag. Why anyone would support this man, I have no idea. But he is now trying to strong-arm Ukraine by using mafia, organized crime tactics. It's beyond disgrace. That's it for today, because today, as I said, is the 3rd anniversary of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine by the genocidal and murderous criminal regime in Moscow, the Kremlin, Putin, and his new partner in crime, new scumbag, new dictator in waiting, Donald Trump. I still can't believe I'm saying that, but that's the facts on the ground, Steve Witkoff. All right, folks, that's all for today. Please hit the subscribe button so I can continue to make more of these. I'm going to continue to try to put out one of these every day, bring up what I believe is the most important issue of the day. There's just too many to keep up with all of them, but I'm going to try to find the ones that I think are the most important, the most relevant to you and the Western world of democracy. So please hit the subscribe button, go to buymeacoffee.com, buy me a coffee, and tell others about the No Delusion Zone channel so we can continue to be the voice of the opposition to this madness, to this oligarchy, the oligarchy states of America. Until then, you all take care, stay safe, and stay sane.